welcome to this Planet Zoo build of a habitat for the American Standard Donkey. Today, we're building, like I said, for the American Standard Donkey, and we're making some improvements to my Hexagon Zoo that I have several videos on this channel about, and if you would like to stick around and watch more of them, you can definitely subscribe, and it also does help if you like and comment, and yeah, I'm excited to have you along for the journey. So for the donkeys, what I wanted to do and what I did is I've recently been watching this channel called Ghost Town Living. So I wanted to make sort of a Ghost Town Living inspired little donkey building. I had pulled up a reference image while I was working on this and it didn't quite turn out. I mean, you clearly can tell that it's not in the California desert because of all the stuff that's around it. But I did put this big hill back there to kind of help maybe sell the illusion that we're in the California desert and on a mountain. But yeah, I picked some materials that I thought would complement that environment. So I picked this stone wall, the gray stone wall that you saw just a second ago. And I don't know what I'm doing right now. Oh, here we go. I just picked a donkey. I think I just purchased one. And then I'm trying to figure out the height that it needs to be able to, like, for the guests to be able to see into the enclosure, especially the kids too, because they're so short. But also so that's tall enough so the donkeys can't just jump out, because we wouldn't want free roaming donkeys. Doesn't sound like a great idea. I don't think they're particularly aggressive, but if you don't know what you're doing, I feel like you need supervision when people and equines interact. So I do actually have a horse myself, and I do often call him a donkey because he's very stubborn, which actually he's just very smart. He knows how to try to make his life easier and get more food. So he's very stubborn. When you walk past a food source, he tends to want to stop and take a hard look at that. And now over here I'm laying out some different pieces of wood just to kind of see what my options were. And I built this little bell tower situation. I'm not really sure what it is for. I ended up putting 2 of them in the enclosure because it was in the reference photo. But yeah, it just was a little bell tower. I guess they used that back in the day for a reason that is not currently known to me. Maybe just to like alert people of things that were happening, like it's break time now, or go back to work, or get up in the morning, you know? Something like that, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm picking out the solid wood piece, so like building piece. This is the one that I ended up going with. Was kind of difficult, and somebody in my chat said, oh, why don't you just use the angled pieces, the angled building pieces for the sloped roof? Well, the problem is I really wanted the beams of wood to be horizontal and not vertical, which all of the ones that are pre-built in the game, the building pieces, are vertical. So that was a kind of a difficult situation. I made it work, I think. It's fine. It turned out okay. Oh, and there's our donkey. Look how cute she is. I was admiring how like furry she looked and how detailed it actually is. Her name is Janet. I think that's a very good name for an American standard donkey. And on that note, why don't we learn a little bit about Janet and her species? So this animal came in the Barnyard Animal Pack, which I didn't even realize that I had that pack. I must have bought it when I started doing these videos and I just not remembered. But yeah, the Barnyard Animal Pack is what they came in, and they can be 1.2 to 1.4 meters tall at the withers. So the way that you measure horses, donkeys, I'm assuming zebras if you measured them, is at their shoulders instead of like the height of their head, because they can obviously move their heads up and down. Look at her trotting over there. She's so cute. And they can weigh between 180 and 227 kilos, which was very surprising to me because my horse is about 1.40 meters tall at the wither, and he has been known to weigh 400 kilos. He has been quite overweight in the past, unfortunately. So we're like down a little bit from that now, but the donkey's a real lean animal, I guess. They make do with very little, I guess. And they are not endangered. They, people use them for all kinds of work reasons and breed them a lot, and there's not a problem. There's about 40,000 estimated in North American donkeys specifically. Oh yeah, you can see the sloped roof piece that I had to sort of create myself because I couldn't use, or I didn't want to use, the pre-built one. And then I hid the staff buildings behind there so that we could have some more keeper huts and some more staff break rooms. Oh, also you see that little window that's leaned up against the building there? I thought that was a really nice detail. It could be so much more detailed. Don't get me wrong, like there's not that much detail in the grand scheme of things. For example, the porch is very sad, sort of. There could have been so much more to it. But that's how much I could make happen with it being a barn and all that. And it, like the inspiration picture was a hotel, so barn, hotel, there's a difference, And then I also had to find all these different wood pieces that were recolorable because obviously I wanted them to be a certain tone of wood. But yeah, I think like especially from the side over there, the view of the building is quite nice. I like it. I do like how that turned out, and it's functional as well, so it's great. So another fun fact about donkeys, as like I alluded to before, the stubbornness stereotype of donkeys is not really because they are stubborn or bad, but it's a strong sense of self-preservation that they have, and they are also sometimes used as protection for livestock, such as sheep, because they're naturally aggressive towards predators. So my horse is the same. He, when he sees dogs walking around in front of him, he can sometimes get a little bit annoyed and try to bite them or step on them. Unfortunately, there were some chickens in an arena one time, and I didn't interfere. I just kind of let him act out around them. He was just kind of annoyed and, acting annoyed, and instead of interfering with that and redirecting him, I just let him, and ever since then, he's just not liked small animals walking around underfoot. He's just been like that for ever since I can, since I remember going in that arena with him. Over here, I'm just dotting around a little bit of foliage. I didn't want to put too much because, again, this is supposed to be the desert of California, which the little water hole very clearly is not gonna jive with that very well, but I put an education sign up there, and I also later on dotted around some more educational it's not furniture, what is it, educational items, like the little enrichment for the guests sort of items. I just put a bunch of those around in the rest of the zoo, and then we're just playing around with letting the time go by. We're currently swimming in money, so I did put two additional educators to what we already had. And here I'm looking at chickens because, excitingly, the next build we're going to do is going to be for the chickens. And it's going to be the amenities area in the back here. And I already have an idea for it. I'm quite excited. So that's going to be next time. But yeah, here you see the educational items. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you'll come back for the next one or join me on stream. I don't know what day it'll be that I stream. Oh, actually, by the time I upload this, I've probably already streamed. So you might be able to join us for the next one. Unfortunately, the end of the video, I tried to place a deer and the game crashed, but hopefully that's not because my computer can't handle it. Maybe it's just a glitch. We'll have to see next time. Hopefully you'll join me again in the next video, and have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe.